Hi guys, it's Pastor Darin here at Calvary Chapel, and hey, we're going to do something special today. We're going to do a craft together, and we're hoping to get together this Sunday at about 10:30 and do another Zoom meeting. And we're going to be, one of the things that we want to do is we want to do a story that comes from the book of Luke, chapter 24, and also in Mark chapter 16. It's a story that after Jesus died on the cross, some of his disciples were very sad and afraid, and they didn't know what was going to happen next in their life. Now, two of the disciples were walking on a road away from Jerusalem to a city called Emmaus. It was about 7 miles away. Well, those two disciples didn't know that Jesus already rose from the dead. And so Jesus met those two disciples on the road, and when Jesus came up to them, he began to talk to them. And so this Sunday at 10:30, we're going to look a little bit more and see what happened when Jesus met those disciples on the road. Okay? Well, what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a craft together. So if your parents have signed up on the Connect form on the church's website or on the app, they should be receiving an email, and it's going to have an attachment that is part of our craft today. And so kind of simple. So you'll need this that you'll have to print out. This will be a PDF attachment in the email. And then you'll need to have some supplies. So you'll need to have a craft stick. And if you don't have a craft stick, you can just use some thin cardboard. So maybe if you have a cereal box, you could cut a little bit of a piece of the cereal box, maybe the top, and just make a shape kind of like this out of that material, and it'll work just like a craft stick. You're also going to need a nice pair of scissors. These are a kid-size safety scissors. And then you're going to need some way to attach stuff, so you could use either some tape or some glue. And you're going to need some markers. Or if you want, you could also use crayons. So if you like to use crayons, or if maybe you're fancy and maybe you use some paint at your house, I don't know. But I'm going to use markers today, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Step one is going to be to cut out our, cut out the two pieces from our printout. So I'm going to move these pieces out of the way, our supplies. And I'm going to start to simply cut out our two shapes. One is going to be the shape of the city. So we're going to just cut along the outside edge of this black. And for maybe some of you kids that are a little bit smaller, and maybe your hands aren't used to using scissors, maybe your parents can help you. And you know, the nice thing is that if you make a mistake, it's okay. You can just print another one and start over, okay? Maybe you have an older brother or sister that maybe could help you, or maybe a grandparent, maybe that lives with you or something. And if you're having trouble, maybe they can help you. So I'm going to just cut around the outside of this city. And again, the city that these disciples were walking away to was the city of Emmaus. And from what I understand, Emmaus was about 7 miles away from Jerusalem. And that's kind of far. I don't know if you've ever walked 7 miles. Have you walked 7 miles before? I know that I've walked 7 miles, and you know what? It's far. It's really far. I remember, I think when I was in Italy with our college outreach team, and we were doing a vacation Bible school for kids, that we walked around the city of Rome. I mean, not around the outside, but we were walking around in Rome, and my phone kind of counts how many steps I had, and I think we must have walked like 10 miles that day. It was a long, long day, and my feet were very sore. Have you ever had sore feet from walking a lot? Maybe your shoes. I didn't have really good shoes that day, so my feet were very sore that day in Rome. All right, I'm almost done cutting along the edges of the city of Emmaus and the road leading up to it. And this only takes just a few minutes. So I'm going to just keep cutting like that. And next, we're going to take the part that has the in here. There's the two disciples, and I'm not sure which one is Jesus. Maybe Jesus is in the middle. So, I mean, they're just little cartoon guys, so you can decide which one is which. And I don't think the story tells us in the Bible about what the names of these disciples were. It just says two disciples. So I'm going to cut this out. And I think for this sake, I'm going to go just a little bit faster and not worry about cutting up and around their feet. And that part, okay. All right, I'm almost done. Cutting a little bit more around their head and face. Be careful not to cut them. We don't want to hurt their disciples here. Okay. All right, so when we're all done with all of our cutting, what we should have is we should have our disciples and we should have our city. All right? So what we're going to do is we need to color these, and then we are going to do a part about putting this whole thing together, okay? You're going to see how it works in just a second. All right, so let's go ahead, and I probably am going to just roll really, really fast on this part of the thing and just color in the path here going into the city. Color. All right, and then maybe these are some plants over here. And maybe up here, these are some hills. So maybe you like brown for the hills. I'm gonna put hills like up and around the city like this. And I don't know, how are you with your coloring these days? Do you know how to keep the colors in between the lines? Or do you go super fast and the color gets all over the place? I don't know. It's not easy to stay in between the lines, especially if you have small little hands that are learning how to control a pen or a pencil. All right, let's pick a couple of different colors. I'm gonna put kind of a different kind of bluish green in this area here. You can pick your own colors. You're very creative, I know. I've seen you in class so many times. You're very, very creative. All right, I'm gonna keep going. And now in the city, I'm thinking about these buildings. Some people's houses might be very colorful. So I'm gonna put maybe like some orange buildings and yellow ones and all different colors. Maybe I'll even leave some white, because maybe there's a white building. I don't know what color your house is. What color is your house? Our color of our house is kind of like a light brown with maybe a little bit of gray in it. And I'm not sure if that's the same as your house, but that's the way our house is. Okay, and we need some more colors. Uh-oh, I think I lost my one marker. Boop. All right, I'm gonna go with another kind of a light gray for this part of the hills. Woo! I'm kind of getting in a hurry now because I wanna make sure that we can get to the end of our video and our story. I'm gonna color this in. Maybe these are more kind of plants and bushes along the side of the road. All right, and maybe some trees up here. All right, you get the idea. And then for our men, I don't know what color they should be. Maybe I'm gonna make their faces, I don't have a good skin color, so maybe I'll just make them kind of orange. That might be a good skin color. And let's see, maybe this guy's beard is kind of gray. He's got gray hair. Maybe he's an older disciple. And I don't have black today, but maybe I'll use just brown for some of their beards and hair. Can you see that up there? Okay, and maybe her sandals down here. And he's got a stick, so I'm gonna, his walking stick, okay. And then maybe a colorful red, maybe for their coat. Maybe his coat was very beautiful and red like this. Maybe his was red too. Maybe this piece in the front is red. Something like that, okay. And what's another good color? Maybe we could do a nice green for his sleeves over here. Maybe he has the same colors, I don't know. And let's do maybe, how about blue on this one? Blue like that. You guys like blue? I kind of like blue. I have a son and he loves blue. Almost everything he has is blue. Maybe you're like that too, I don't know. My other son, he likes green and all of his clothes are green. So that's just the way he likes it. Okay, so we've got our two pieces, and again, you can color it as nicely as you like. And now we're gonna do something really cool. We're gonna take these two pieces. So we're gonna take our little guys and our stick like this, and we're gonna attach the guys to the craft stick, kind of like this. So on the back, you could put glue here and here and put it together and then let it dry, or you could do what I'm gonna do right here because we're gonna do it quick. I am gonna put some tape. I'm gonna just put some tape simply across like that because this will be very, very quick. Okay, so you'll have your guys on a stick like that and the tape will be just across it holding it, okay? So you could do that, or again, you could use the glue if you wanna use the glue, okay? All right. So now we have our men and the city of Emmaus down here. Now, I want you to notice something. Do you see this black line right here? Do you see that? Let me show you. See this line at the bottom? Okay. Well, what we need to do is we need to cut along that line. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna kind of fold it like this, okay? And then I'm gonna cut along that line like this. I'm gonna cut, and then stop. And then now, do you see how we are cut all the way along? Okay. Now this is the fun part. Are you ready for this? This is gonna be so cool. All right, so we're gonna stick our guys, put the popsicle stick through that hole that we just cut, and watch what we can do. We can make them walk to the road, on the road to Emmaus as they're talking with Jesus. Do you see them walking? Isn't that cool? I'm gonna do it down on this camera too. Watch this. So they're walking down the road. And again, this Sunday at 10:30, we're gonna have one of our teachers share with us what happened in that conversation that they had on the road. Well, I wanna say thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have fun with this awesome craft. And we might have some more crafts in the future, okay? Bye, guys.